Hi, Pep. Could you give us an update on the fitness of your squad in terms of availability for selection for the game tomorrow?
Well, except, as you know, Rodri and Oscar. The other one's training and getting better. The guys still they are not completely fit, like Kevin, for example.
Yeah, on Kevin, how close is he? I mean, when would you expect him to be available for selection?
I cannot tell you. I don't know.
So does that mean it's still some time away?
Yeah.
Okay. And Kyle, is he okay?
Oh, Kyle as well, yeah. Kyle, I think, is not ready.
So again...
As a national team, he didn't come well.
What's the issue with Kyle?
Knee.
And do you expect him to be out for a little while as well?
I don't know.
Okay.
Somewhere? Will be a short press conference, guys. Rob, thank you.
Hi, Pep. You've got games in 3 different competitions in this next little block between the next international break. I just wondered how you felt the squad has been coping with the schedule, how their fitness, their sharpness.
Well, I would say they're really good. Of course, we prefer to be all together because you have 4 important absences right now with Kevin, Kyle, Rodri, and Oscar. 2 of them, hopefully, they come back close. Oscar, I think January, February will be ready. November, January, I think so. And Rodri, we know, will be missed a lot until the end of the season. Without them, of course, we need them. But I think all the teams, all the clubs around the world, or in Europe, they have similarly the teams who play 3 competitions, or especially in Europe, they have quite similar problems.
Just in terms of the mood around the training ground, obviously you'd like to win games without needing last-minute winners, but when you do have a last-minute winner, do you feel a lift in the group for the next couple of days just because of the manner of which you've won that game?
Well, always help us in the right moment, the day after, but when you play a lot of competition with 3 days, we are able to forget. I think the group showed many times we are ready to forget, I would say, the good and bad moments quick and be ready for the next Champions League that have the same points as us, and the game they play in Germany against Stuttgart, one of the places of more attractive football in Germany for the way they play, and they create a lot of problems. So I didn't know Sparta Praga since the last 2 days. I started to watch him, and I have a good impression.
Pep, could you just ask about Phil Foden, about where he is in terms of getting back to 100% again after his problem? Because obviously he made a great contribution on
He will be back soon.
scored.
He feels much better. The minutes he played last game, for example, Phil, you realize immediately when he's happy and fit and mentally in the right moment. You realize immediately he's getting better and better.
Hi, Pep. Can I go back to Kevin? Has he had a setback in his injury at all? Because a couple of weeks ago you said you didn't think it was going to be a long one.
No, it's not a big issue, but he doesn't feel completely fine. And Kevin, is not 22 years old anymore. He has to be fit for his football. Has to be completely fit. He doesn't feel comfortable at all, so he cannot express his incredible potential at his best. So that's why he's training a little bit better, but still is not. He doesn't feel. He said to me, still, I don't feel good. So I don't feel good. Take your time.
Is that? Will you wait until he's 100% ready before throwing him back in?
He has to, yeah. He has to.
Hi, Pep. I think it's 4 or 5 games since Rodri got injured. How do you feel so far your team or you are solving his absence? Are you happy?
More than happy. There are many things I like a lot. In the bad moments, we understand what they're doing, not good, what you have to improve. And still we are there, yeah.
Do you have to talk about that every game, or is it sort of, with regard to, you're saying, the way in which they're solving it is good. Do you talk to them about it every game? Or is it sort of in training, or how do you have to address?
No, in training we cannot.
Has it been forgotten about? Maybe just get on with it.
You have to understand, for the fact what we have done in the past, even last season we didn't play 11 months in our level. But I would like to play the games I play against Wolves every single game. Like they make 4 or 5 touches in our box and we create a lot, and be in there many times. No, it is not easy. We need a little bit composure in the final third, but then players, 10, 11 players are in the 80-yard box. It's not easy for anyone, but we concede a goal in a brilliant action of them. We concede a counter-attack. We were not good in our transition. But the rest, I'm pleased. I'm delighted. So we didn't last 30 minutes against Fulham. I didn't recognize my team and many things, but always I give credit to Fulham. But the rest of the games, yeah, I'm quite knowing that some absences are important. I know the effort that the guys are doing, and we are fine. So we cannot forget. In the last, 10 years, 11 years, all the teams that I repeat many times, so don't forget exactly what these guys are doing. The last 8, 9 or 10 or 11 years, the team who won the Premier League, the year after didn't qualify for the Champions League. That means how they handled the success was not good. And we are able in every single season, still we are there. I don't know what's going to happen, but still after winning the Premier League, we are there. Won again, 16-7. And still we are there, close to the top of the league, and it's happened because still the team. I like the way you can say, okay, we won the 4 Premier Leagues, we won in the last minutes. Of course, the celebration is so important, but the way they celebrate and winning that way, I know it's common, But the way they celebrate the team, like, I have incredible respect for the quality for the Wolves team. I know what they have done against Liverpool and Chelsea, for example, how good they play. And they were not able to do it against us, what they have done against them. I know what I'm talking about because I saw the games. And how we celebrate when a team now is in the position in the bottom, how we celebrate it in October, not in May or in April like it's happened. Still, I feel the team still have the passion, how we celebrate in the locker room. I still feel, okay, still they want it, still we are there. And that means a lot to me, a lot.
So what you're talking about then, is that maybe one of the most important things about your team? They have this sort of champion or killer desire to always try.
Absolutely. It's a more incredible value that these players, this one and the previous ones, for the mentality the club has. Absolutely, this is the most. They know the team how difficult it is to be consistent for 6-7 years. You can be consistent for a month, for one season, but 6-7 years, and still now we are there. All the teams go down. Still, we are in that position, and the proof that the runners from Mateus, they recover the ball, that help us to make 3 corners, and at the end we did it. So it means that is the reality of our team. We have to continue with that. The fact to improve the skills, improve way to better, that's normal. So I never had one season here like everything start perfect. Maybe the year for the 100 points that we started, we were unstoppable in the Premier League. In the other sense, always have moments that, up and downs. But our moments a little bit decrease. We talk, we correct, and immediately we sit back and we come back in our rhythm. And that is not different.
Mike?
Was it frustrating that Kyle Walker comes back from England with an injury?
It's what it is.
We spoke to John Stones during England, and he said when he was injured in March for England, he comes back and he said, the manager, you're as angry as the players are. Is that fair?
I never was so angry like that moment. Never ever before I was so disappointed. It was a friendly game. And we were playing quarterfinals against Madrid and the Premier League to win it. For the friendly games, come back to play as injured. No, I didn't like it at all.
Can I just check, is Erling Haaland, is he 100% fit?
Yep.
So just the list that you mentioned earlier, he's completely fine?
Yeah.
Yeah, so,
Yeah, it's fine.
Hi, Pep. 2 games into this sort of new Champions League, just wondered if you had any more thoughts about the new format. Are you more comfortable now with sort of what is needed to qualify and get over the line?
Well, the truth is, every week there are incredible. Say Tuesday, Wednesday, there are incredible games. So, is it true that it wasn't Man City, Inter Milan. Wednesday will be Barcelona, Bayern Munich, and you know there are a lot of games, and we have I don't know how many teams, 30, more than 30, just 8 qualify. So I'm pretty sure there will be a top team. There will have to be an extra games to qualify for the first 24 or something like that. So yeah. So I'm pretty sure if we don't close the games at home after our drawing against Inter de Milan, we have 3 incredible away in Lisboa against Sporting, like they went 7-7 in the Portuguese league, and Juventus de Turin in PSG away. I would say it's not easy. So the games we have at home, we have to close it. Otherwise, it will be so difficult finishing in the first 8. That is the target we want to achieve.
Hi Pep. The last 2 games, Wolves and Fulham, have been 2 more where you've conceded first and then mounted comebacks to come on and win, which is obviously very encouraging in one respect. But is there also the message that if you carry on going behind, that maybe sooner or later it will catch up with you?
Yeah, that's true. So before it didn't happen, we were not able to come back. Now we proved many times we can do it, but it's not the ideal situation. I prefer go to 2-0 up than going down. But sometimes I listen, this cannot happen. Of course can happen. No, this cannot happen again. Of course can happen again. The football is like that. But the way we play against Wolves, I like a lot. So the first action, you can see the goal. We have to try to board it. We wanted to work in board it. It's better, but it's football. So the first action at Brentford, long balls, and score 1 goal in the first minute. But Brentford has done it in 3 or 4 in a row. Scored the first minute. Yeah, we have to try because it's more difficult, right? It's more difficult. But yeah, this is not something like I'm concerned a lot,
Finish with chat, please, guys.
Hey, but just going back to what you were saying about the Stones injury last year, when that sort of thing happens, do you contact the FA, the manager? And
Never. Before, when I was a football player, the manager national teams called the managers from the clubs. Now nobody could talk. How they feel, how they are, how is maybe the physios they talk, but with the managers never ever. Well, in the beginning, first season, second with Gareth, yeah, but no.
But it stopped after that, after the...
Yeah. No.
Would you... do you
But
think
sometimes Ronald Koeman, because he's a friend of mine, I know that they want to get injured, you know that? The players, they want to get injured. I always encourage them to go to the national team. It's a pleasure. But when it's a friendly game, you cannot come back injured. I'm sorry. You are focused. In friendly game, you cannot come back injured when you're playing quarterfinals of the Champions League. Because there are a lot of work here behind. They are the first that make a lot of work behind, to arrive in the last stages of the season with a chance to win the titles. We are well paid here. The club pays us, not the national teams. So you have to respect the club. In the friendly games, you cannot be injured. You can play, absolutely, but you cannot come back injured. You are here, you cannot come back.
Just ask about Stones this season. How important is it for you to be able to reintegrate him into the starting 11 probably more regularly than he has been? Is he like the missing link in a build-up in the midfield and things like that?
John looks like it was my son, honestly. So I know his body language. I know everything of him. He's one of the most adorable professionals and lovely persons. He's not a person I want more than best than him. So the only reason maybe not regularly because Ruben and Manu were in incredible top form. It's no other secret. It's not a lack of confidence. It's not a lack of bad form or whatever. He knows when he's fine and when he's not. So after, you know how many meetings and games and training sessions have been together? So it's not about that, but sometimes Ruben give you something, Manu give you something, you were unbelievably strong, and it's not about he gave us 1 point against Arsenal or 2 more points against Wolves. It's for the goals that is so important. Have a sense of goal incredible in the box. It's not about that. So John appreciate for the incredible amount of things that he does to us. So I'm so happy to have him still with us, and I love him. And there are a lot of these guys that That's why I'm still manager here. So I like to be with them, and also I want to try to help them. And I know for his body language when he's fit, he's ready. So, and of course we need him. I need Nathan. I need all the players. So I need also Nathan injured for the national team the last 2 times, and and it's happened. I know it's happened. But Josko cannot play all the minutes, all the games every 3 days. We need Nathan. Otherwise, we cannot compete until the end. So today in the modern football, I think in the teams, the most important thing is not training sessions. The most important thing is not practice things. The most important thing is be fit, no injured. Because when you're injured, you lose 8 games. Muscular, not the injuries like Oscar, for example, or Rodri. No, the injuries, the muscular, you lose 8-10 games. So it's bad. No injury is the only reason why you can arrive until the end of the season. So that's why the doctors, the medical department, the physio, the amount of the training, the intensity you have to do, you have to be so careful, because the travels, the trips, and everything with the national teams, and here and the game, 3 days. So be fit. Only I pray for that. The rest perform. After 9 years will come. What do you have to do? Just talking a little bit, guys. We have to come back to do this, to that. They get it. They try to do it. It's not a problem. The problem is how we can do it if they are 1.5 months out. No solution for that.
Hi, Rico. Your manager's spoken very highly of you this season in particular. People outside of Manchester City talking about this being your breakout season. How do you see it from the player sat there in front of us today?
I think it's difficult to say it's like a breakout season because obviously I've been with him already for 2 years, but it feels in myself that there's more trust in the manager there for me. There's more playing time for me there as well. So in terms of playing more games, yeah, it does feel like that, and I think that's only helped with my confidence and being able to develop more as a player as well.
You obviously get asked to do a lot of different roles in the team. In Rodri's absence, that might have changed slightly, but I just wonder, as a group of players, how much are you talking amongst yourselves to come up with solutions, and how much are you looking to the manager to give you the solutions to play in his absence? Because obviously he's such a hugely important player.
I mean, everyone knows how important he is, and that's been seen over the last 2-3 seasons of how big of a player he is. I think it's more the manager coming up with solutions, and then we've just got to figure out on the day, in the game, on the pitch, of how to execute them, more so than us trying to figure it out ourselves. I think Cover's done such a good job of doing that already in the recent games. But yeah, I think even though he's such an important player, us as players have to come together and say we've got to do it this season without him.
Hi, Rico, you basically played every game for City this season, every 3 days, and then you've been away with the national team. Have you had to change the way you work to sort of be fit enough for that?
And I wouldn't say drastically, because I've always been, the person to be as fit as possible and be available. But I think playing so many games already this season is like I've almost appreciate more the players that have done it, the last season and the season before, because it's so difficult. No game's easy, especially for us. I think it's difficult to switch into that so quickly, to be adjust to playing so many games from not playing that many games on a bounce. But I'm enjoying it, and that's the thing that pushes me through. The tiredness or whatever, is that all I want to do is play football, especially for this club. So I think that's the main thing that pushes me through it.
And I know you said when you were sort of first starting out, it felt like opposition teams were targeting you a bit on the pitch. Is that sort of getting less and less now that you're playing more regularly?
I don't know. I don't remember saying that. But I think, I don't know, there's certain games where that'll happen, certain games where it might not happen, and that's what football is. It's so different. Every game's so different, and that's why I enjoy it so much, because you can never say that 2 games are the same.
Hi Rico. Last season and season before, you were in and out, played a couple of games, went out. Now I think you've played as many games as anyone in this team this season. Do you feel more trusted by Pep in general now, and what has that done for your confidence as a player?
Yeah, it definitely feels it, because obviously I'm playing on the pitch But that's not to say that he didn't trust me when I wasn't playing as well. But you know, the last season we've had, you know, so many good players that can play in so many different positions where it's difficult to fit everyone in at once. But in terms of my confidence, it's massive for it. It's, you know, to be able to have a manager like that can play you and feel like they can play you in most games is amazing for me.
And you played right back this season, left back, midfield, played a couple of different roles in midfield. Are you enjoying playing in different roles every week? Is that an enjoyable aspect for you at the moment, or do you want to maybe try and nail down one position?
I've not really had too much thought about it, you know, about nailing down a position. I think the more positions I can play, the bigger chance it gives me of playing, you know. If I was nailed down, then I wouldn't play as many games as I have this season. So I think there's both ways to think about it, but right now that's not what I'm thinking about. It's just more playing as best as I can and working as hard as I can as well.
Just following on from that, I'm guessing you're happy to play any position, but how do you see, you know, what do you enjoy about playing football? What aspects? Is it the creative side, defense, you know, being a midfielder? You know, how do you see yourself?
I think it's just everything, you know. Like I said before, that no two games are the same, and there's so many different scenarios that can happen from it. And I think I enjoy the defensive side. I enjoy attacking, especially with how we're playing at the moment. You know, most teams play against us in a low block, and you know, it's the little small details that can win you a game and stuff like that. You know, creating chances, and I think we're all looking to going for one goal, which is to win the game. And you know, it's not that easy. There's so many little details of it. But I think that's the thing I enjoy, the little details and the things that we can do, that I can do to help win games.
When you were coming through here, as a kid growing up, did you play all positions? Were you a striker, number 10, a central midfielder? You know, where did you play most?
Well, when I first came in, I was a midfielder, but about 2 weeks in, they put me at right back because I wasn't as good as everyone else in midfield. But then since then, I'd played everywhere, like right back, left back. I think there was a season where I played centre back when I was a bit younger and stuff like that. So I think that's definitely helped me in terms of like now, the mental side of knowing other people's positions and appreciating what your teammates are doing for you. But yeah, like I say, I'm enjoying the football right now, and I think, yeah, the more positions I can play right now, the more games I can play, which is exactly what I want.
Hi Rico, if I could just ask with your England hat on, how much are you looking forward to the prospect of working with Thomas Tuchel?
Yeah, it's something that was unexpected at the time, but I think it's also something that's exciting. You know, it's a new manager, like it's a new era. It's a chance to go and win something. And, you know, we don't know what he's going to do. We don't know what his system is, what he's going to, you know, everything's going to be new for everyone. So it's an exciting time.
Hi Rico. Obviously, Pep's had a massive influence on the first team with the trophies that the first team have won, but also feels like he's had quite a big influence on the way the academy is organised, the type of football that is played in the academy now. As someone that's come through that pathway, has that prepared you quite well for making that step from academy football to the first team?
Yeah, I'd say definitely. It felt a lot. Obviously, it's difficult going from academy to first team anywhere, but I think the values of him have been instilled throughout the academy. You know, from when we moved here, especially, that's when we felt it. You know, the patterns and pictures that we did when we were in the youth teams, we tried to mirror the first team, and obviously you can't exactly do it because you don't got the quality of players when you're that young. But I think just the little details that we do, you know, learn from being young, it massively helps when you get older and start to understand the patterns that he wants to do as well.